Hello friends, and welcome back. So this week I actually want to review a product. It's never really something that I have done on this channel before, but it's definitely something that I want to share with you guys because there aren't a lot of reviews out there on this exact thing. And what we're going to talk about today is the JoAnns Fabrics Customization Design Tool. I have used the major competitor Spoonflower before, and I absolutely love it. And I have gone back to Spoonflower multiple times for a variety of projects. And when I saw that JoAnns was launching their own version of this about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, I got really excited about it, but at the time, there wasn't anything specific that I really wanted to order. I put it in my back pocket for when I did. Well, I recently decided that I was going to make myself a king-size quilt for my bedroom, and I wanted it to be a very tonal shades of whites and creams, but I also wanted a lot of autumnal and Halloween prints hidden in there, so that way it still met with mine and Nick's aesthetic. And it's one of those things where it's like they're extremely minute, but they're not in your face, and so we know that they're there. But anyways, so I was searching the internet for a print that I'd had years ago where it was shades of creams and taupes and stuff like that of acorns, and I'd had this print as a fabric. I'd used it for something else, but I knew I had gotten it at JoAnns, and so I kept going back and kept going back. Well, lo and behold, they still had that print, but now they had it in their custom design section where you could change size, color, the whole megillah. I ordered it as is, and I ordered it in their cotton. It's originally $20 a yard. And for me, I envisioned either quality comparable to Spoonflower, since they're releasing this as a competitor to Spoonflower, or at least comparable to the price point of their cottons. And so for their quilters cottons, I assumed it was going to be on par with their quilters cottons. And that is where I made a huge mistake. So I ordered this. I'm gonna pop it up onto the screen the way you select it. Now, I ordered this exactly as is, as it shows on the screen. I didn't change anything because, like I had said, I'd had it before, but you could. So let me just show you really quick. So here you see you can change the colors, you can change the layout if you want your rows to be slightly staggered or not. You can make it a little bigger, you can make it a little smaller, and that's great if you are quilting with small pieces and you want a really small print for small pieces. I didn't. I went with it as is, and I ordered it in the quilter cotton. Now here's what I received. It is transparent. It's also not a true yard.
So you can actually see the print of a different fabric underneath it. Like, it's so transparent. Even here, it's reading pink because it's picking up my cutting mat underneath. Other issues I have is that there are these ink splotches pretty much everywhere I've usable print space. I'm only getting 40 inches, not 44 inches. The quality of the print, extremely poor. I would even say that the quality of this is like lower than their $3.99 a yard fabric. I wouldn't, and you can see here, like, I selected a pre-made design, artist JoAnns. I did not design this. I haven't washed it to see how it will behave. The other issue that I have is it is extremely off grain. I'll cut my salvages all off and see where we're at. All right, so you can see how off grain this is. I've got my prints lined up at the bottom. I'm about, down here closest to me, I'm about 3 inches off. And it gradually gets closer to at the top where it's lined up again. That's pretty poor when you consider that this was $15 a yard. Okay, I've gone ahead and trimmed this edge of white off along with this bottom selvage. So now you can actually see by lining the selvage up, like that's the straight of the grain, how off this print is. I want to point out that by comparison to a variety of other 45-inch wide fabrics, granted they all end in a slightly different place, like they're all off by an inch, give or take. Then there's this one.
I would also like to just take a moment to note that right here on the cover page for their fabric customizer, it says exclusively at JoAnns. How is that not false advertising when other companies like Spoonflower were doing this first? JoAnns jumped on the bandwagon a decade after the fact. Now, this was just my very first experience ordering from them, and I don't know if my experience is a truly viable source of information in that it's a very light print, but my expectations were higher. I had hoped that the quality of the cotton was better. I had hoped that the print was visible. I'd hoped for a actual 1 yard of usable fabric. I don't think that these are unrealistic expectations. Would one of the higher price point cottons have been a better quality? I can't answer that because I didn't order it. Would having a darker print made it less transparent? Totally. But that's not what I wanted. I am just putting out there a buyer beware. And you know, I will experiment in the future to see if the quality for the other products, for the other types of fabric are different. And is it just their entry-level quilters cotton that's problematic? Because this is on par with their $2.99, $3.99 a yard quilter showcase. If you want a genuine quality comparison, it's not $13.99 a yard fabric, even as a custom print. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me again this week, and I will see you next week for more fun fabric and shenanigans.